Module 3 quiz, problem number 5. Sean checks the value of his stock portfolio at the start and end of each day. Stock A, of which he owns 204 shares, lost $3 per share one day. Stock B, of which he owns 55 shares, gained $5 per share that same day. One thing I want to point out is that we heard lost $3 and gained $5. So that tells us that this is going to be a negative number and this is going to be a positive number. What is the total change in value of a stock portfolio on this particular day? So the total change is going to equal the change in A plus the change in B. So let's just take a look at A. So for A, we have, let's make this a little smaller so we can see them together. So for A, we have 204 shares. And each of those 204 shares lost $3. So basically what we're saying is that we have -3 plus -3 plus -3, or 3 minus 3 minus 3 minus 3, because you're adding, plus all the way down here, plus -3, 204 times. So what we're saying in that case, so this is 204 times. So what we're saying then is that the total change in stock A is going to be 204 times -3. Because we're taking that -3 and adding it up 204 times, or you're subtracting it 204 times, however you want to think of that. So that's for stock A. So for stock B, it's the same concept, but in this case now we have 55 shares that gained $5 a day. So that's going to be 55 times +5 for the same reason. It's like saying 5 plus 5 plus 5, 55 times. Okay, so what we need to do is add those together. So the total is going to equal 204 times -3 plus 55 times 5. Now let's come over here to our calculator, and I'm just using a free online one to show you guys. So 204 times -3. Oops. Clear. Let's just go ahead and hit enter, since we know that the answer is negative, right? Because a positive times a negative is negative. So this is going to equal -612. So we have -612. That's for the A stock. But we know that the B stock is going to add some value because it was gained. So we have 55 times 5, and that gives us 275. So there's a couple ways we can do that. We can do our absolute value rule, but just for sake of time, I'm going to show you how to do it on the calculator. So we have 612. So remember that when we say here, -612 plus 275, that's the same thing as saying 275 minus 612. Remember, we can switch the order just to do it in a calculator here. So we have 275 minus 612. And that gives us -337. Now remember, if you didn't know how to do that on a calculator, you could switch the order. Remember, you could always do your absolute value rule. So we would say, just the side work, let's do it up here real quick. We would say the absolute value of the bigger number minus the absolute value of the smaller number, which equals 612 minus 275. And when you add that or subtract that, you're going to get 337. And since this is a negative number, we know that this is negative. So we would say that the total change in the stock for that day is -$337. So basically, this guy lost $337 in his stocks that day. All right, if you have any questions about this one, let me know. Have a good weekend.